There are seasons in your life that don't look like progress. They look like delay. They feel like silence. They taste like disappointment. But what if I told you this is not a season of denial? It is a season of development. What if this is the very moment heaven is preparing you for greater blessings than you've ever imagined? We often celebrate harvest, but we resist preparation. We shout over manifestation, but we grow weary in process. Yet every promise requires a preparation period. Every elevation demands internal renovation. God will never expose you to what your character cannot sustain. So when doors seem closed and opportunities feel distant, it may not be rejection, it may be protection. Preparation is uncomfortable. It stretches your patience. It challenges your faith. It confronts your insecurities. But it also builds your capacity. You prayed for more, but more requires maturity. You asked for influence, but influence requires integrity. You desired overflow, but overflow demands stewardship. Preparation is not rejection, it is protection. Many times when a door closes in your face, your first instinct is to question your worth. You wonder if you were overlooked, underestimated, or forgotten. But what if the closed door is not a reflection of your value, but a revelation of God's wisdom? What if the no you heard was heaven shielding you from something you were not yet ready to carry? Rejection feels personal. It hits your ego. It shakes your confidence. It tempts you to shrink back and settle. But protection is purposeful. Protection sees what you cannot see. It understands timing you cannot understand. When you are denied access to certain rooms, relationships, or resources, it may not be because you are unqualified. It may be because stepping in too soon would have crushed you. You prayed for elevation, but elevation without preparation can become devastation. You asked for influence, but influence without integrity can destroy you. So instead of allowing you to step into something prematurely, God allows the door to remain closed while He works on your foundation. He strengthens your character. He refines your motives. He heals insecurities that would have been exposed under pressure. Sometimes rejection redirects you to environments that align better with your calling. Sometimes it removes people who would have mishandled your destiny. Sometimes it forces you to develop skills you would have ignored if success came too quickly. What feels like loss is often alignment. What feels like delay is often design. Protection does not always feel comforting. It can feel lonely. It can feel confusing. It can even feel unfair. But protection is evidence that your future matters. If there were nothing significant ahead, there would be nothing to guard. The very resistance you are facing may be proof that what's on your life is valuable. Instead of internalizing rejection as failure, begin to see it as refinement. Instead of asking, why was I denied? Begin asking, what is being developed in me right now? Greater blessings require greater capacity. Many people desire increase, but few prepare for the responsibility that comes with it. We pray for expansion, yet we resist the stretching that expansion demands. The truth is, what you are asking for will weigh more than what you are currently carrying. And if your capacity does not grow, the blessing itself can become a burden. Capacity is not just about skill. It is about strength of character, emotional maturity, spiritual depth, and disciplined habits. You cannot hold greater influence with a fragile ego. You cannot manage greater resources with undisciplined patterns. You cannot sustain greater visibility if your identity is unstable. So before the blessing increases around you, your capacity must increase within you. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it challenges your limits. It forces you to confront weaknesses you would rather ignore. It exposes impatience, pride, fear, and insecurity. But that exposure is not to shame you. It is to strengthen you. Every challenge you face in this season is expanding your ability to handle what is coming next. Think about it. If you were given tomorrow what you are praying for today, would you be able to sustain it? Would your mindset support it? Would your discipline protect it? Would your relationship survive it? Greater blessings amplify everything in your life. They magnify your strengths, but they also magnify your flaws. That is why preparation always precedes promotion. God enlarges your capacity in quiet seasons. In the waiting, in the refining, in the stretching. When you learn patience, your capacity grows. When you forgive, your capacity grows. When you stay faithful in small assignments, your capacity grows. When you choose integrity over shortcuts, your capacity grows. You are not being overlooked. You are being enlarged. The pressure you feel is expansion taking place. The discomfort you experience is growth unfolding. Every lesson, every setback, every responsibility you handle well is increasing your ability to steward more. Because when greater blessings arrive, they will require a greater version of you. Hidden seasons produce visible strength. What feels unseen is often where the deepest transformation is taking place. We live in a world that celebrates what is public, what is applauded, what is posted. But the most powerful growth happens in private, in the quiet mornings, in the late nights, in the moments when no one is watching and no one is clapping. A hidden season can feel insignificant. It can make you question whether your effort even matters. You show up consistently, but there is no recognition. You stay faithful, but there is no spotlight. You keep building, but there is no immediate evidence of progress. Yet strength is not formed in visibility, it is formed in obscurity. Roots grow underground before branches reach the sky. And if the roots are shallow, the tree cannot withstand the storm. Hidden seasons deepen your roots. They teach you discipline without applause. They teach you commitment without reward. They teach you identity without validation. When you learn to stand firm without external affirmation, you develop a strength that cannot be shaken by external criticism. In hidden seasons, your motives are purified. You begin to examine why you do what you do. Is it for recognition or for purpose? Is it for approval or for calling? Privacy strips away performance. It forces you to confront yourself honestly. It reveals weaknesses that must be strengthened and patterns that must be broken. There are battles you fight in private that prepare you for victories in public. There are tears no one sees that water the seeds of your future. There are sacrifices no one applauds that build endurance within you. And when the moment comes for you to step into visibility, you will not be overwhelmed by it because you were built for it in secret. Do not despise the hidden place. It is where your resilience is forged. It is where your confidence is anchored. It is where your strength becomes authentic. What is developed in silence will eventually speak with power when the time is right God develops your character before He delivers the promise. We often focus on the promise itself, the opportunity, the platform, the relationship, the breakthrough, but we overlook the person required to sustain it. The promise is not just about possession. It is about stewardship. And stewardship demands character. Character is who you are when there is no pressure to perform and no reward to gain. It is the integrity you choose when shortcuts are available. It is the humility you maintain when you have the right to boast. It is the consistency you demonstrate when emotions fluctuate. Before the promise ever shows up externally, character must be formed internally. If the promise arrived before your character was ready, it could expose weaknesses that would sabotage your future. Success amplifies what is already within you. If there is pride, it becomes arrogance. If there is insecurity, it becomes comparison. If there is dishonesty, it becomes corruption. So instead of rushing you into something that could harm you, God works on the inner foundation. Sometimes the delay you resent is actually development you require. You may see waiting as punishment, but it is preparation. In the waiting, patience is cultivated. In the testing, integrity is strengthened. In the challenges, perseverance is built. Each experience shapes you into someone who can carry weight without collapsing under it. Character development often happens through discomfort. You are placed in situations that stretch your patience, challenge your ego, and confront your motives. You are asked to forgive when you would rather hold resentment. You are required to serve when you would rather be served. These moments are not random, they are refining. The promise is significant, but who you become in the process is even more significant. Because when the promise finally arrives, it will demand stability, wisdom, and maturity. It will require you to lead with grace, decide with clarity, and act with integrity. The development of your character ensures that when the blessing comes into your hands, it will not slip through your fingers. Subtraction is often the setup for multiplication. When something leaves your life, your first reaction is usually loss. You feel the absence. You feel the gap. You feel the discomfort of change. But what if what was removed was never meant to sustain your next level? What if the subtraction is creating space for something greater to enter? We naturally hold on to what is familiar, even when it limits us, even when it drains us, even when it no longer aligns with who we are becoming. Letting go can feel like failure. It can feel like you are moving backward. But sometimes reduction is not regression, it is refinement. When excess is trimmed away, clarity increases. When distractions are removed, focus sharpens. When unhealthy relationships end, peace returns. Subtraction simplifies your environment so you can concentrate on purpose. It removes the noise so you can hear direction more clearly. It clears the clutter so you can recognize opportunity when it arrives. Think about it. If your hands are full of what no longer serves you, how can you receive what is meant for you? You cannot hold on to outdated mindsets and step into renewed vision at the same time. You cannot cling to comfort and embrace expansion simultaneously. Growth requires release. There are seasons where God reduces before He multiplies. He prunes before fruit appears. He narrows your circle before enlarging your impact. It may feel lonely when people walk away. It may feel uncertain when resources decrease. It may feel unsettling when old patterns are disrupted, but subtraction strengthens dependence on what truly matters. Not everything that leaves is a loss. Some departures are divine strategy. Some endings are necessary transitions. Some closed chapters are protecting your next assignment. The discomfort of letting go is temporary, but the freedom it creates is transformative. Space must exist before increase can fill it. And what feels like less right now may be preparing you to handle more than you have ever imagined. This is not a season of waiting, it's a season of becoming. Waiting suggests passivity, as if you are stuck on the sidelines of your own life, hoping something changes. Becoming is different. Becoming is active. It is intentional. It is the quiet transformation taking place beneath the surface while the world assumes nothing is happening. You may feel like progress has slowed down. You may look around and see others moving ahead, achieving milestones, stepping into opportunities you once desired. Comparison will try to convince you that you are behind. But becoming does not move at the speed of comparison. It moves at the pace of calling. In a season of becoming, your identity is being strengthened. You are learning who you are without applause. You are discovering your voice without external validation. You are building confidence that is rooted in conviction rather than circumstance. This kind of growth cannot be rushed because it forms the foundation for everything that follows. Becoming requires stretching. It requires confronting habits that limit you. It requires letting go of old narratives that kept you small. It challenges you to think differently, to respond differently, to believe differently. The discomfort you feel is evidence that change is happening within you. You are developing resilience through challenges. You are gaining wisdom through mistakes. You are building endurance through setbacks. Each experience is shaping your perspective and sharpening your discernment. What feels like delay is actually depth being formed inside you. When you embrace becoming, you stop asking when things will change and start asking how you can grow. You focus less on the outcome and more on alignment. You shift from frustration to formation because the person you are becoming is preparing to step into spaces that require strength, clarity, and maturity. This season is not empty. It is intentional. It is crafting a version of you that can carry more weight, handle more responsibility, and walk with greater authority as you step back and look at every season, every delay, every closed door, every hidden moment. You begin to see a pattern. Nothing was wasted. The rejection was protection. The stretching was expansion. The hidden years were building strength. The pruning was preparing fruit. The delay was developing character. What felt like subtraction was making room for multiplication. And what seemed like waiting was shaping who you are becoming. This is the season where heaven is increasing your capacity so you can carry greater blessings without losing yourself. This is the season where your roots are growing deep enough to sustain the height you're about to reach. This is the season where your character is being fortified so the promise won't crush you but crown you. Every lesson, every challenge, every moment of refinement has been intentional. So don't rush the process. Don't resent the preparation. Don't misinterpret the silence. Lean into it. Grow through it. Trust that the same God who gave the promise is committed to preparing the person who will receive it. Because when the door finally opens, you won't just walk into greater blessings. You will be fully equipped to sustain them, multiply them, and steward them with wisdom and strength